Have you ever stared at your medication bottle or stood at the produce aisle? It's a secret manual out there somewhere, like one that's custom made just for your body.
Like a user guide for you.
Exactly. Would it be key to use optimal health with something deeply, uniquely personal?
That's really the big question, isn't it?
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Our mission today is to unpack some really fascinating insights that come from a recent digest compiled by Consumers.App.
Yeah, their Consumers 360 news commentary from August 1st.
Right. And they've pulled together a whole stack of research articles, stuff that pushes us to rethink our daily choices. Everything from our genetic blueprint, dictating how medicines work,
to some surprising hidden dangers in products we think are sustainable.
Yeah. And even looking at this quiet crisis of loneliness, particularly among young adults. It's a really compelling look at health, both personal and public. You won't want to miss this.
What's fascinating here, I think, is how these topics, they seem so different, right? But they actually connect. They connect to this larger picture.
How so?
Well, it's all about understanding ourselves better, making genuinely informed choices in, let's face it, a complex world, and navigating all the nuances of modern health consumerism.
Okay.
So we'll be pulling out the most important nuggets, trying to help you cut through the noise and, get to the core of what truly matters for your well-being. Hopefully spark some aha moments too.
Definitely hoping for some aha moments. Okay, let's unpack this first topic then. It really gets to the heart of what makes each of us, absolutely unique.
Our DNA.
Our DNA, exactly. We're talking about how your individual genetic makeup impacts everything from the pills you take to the food you put on your plate. It's pretty revolutionary stuff.
It really is.
So first up, there was this pilot scheme highlighted by the Lancashire Telegraph, and it reveals, quote, how much individual DNA impacts the effectiveness of medicine. So this isn't just general health. It's about your body's incredibly specific response to drugs.
Yeah, this is that cutting-edge field, pharmacogenomics, and it's profound, really. The aggregated research from Consumers.App explains how these genetic variations, tiny changes in our DNA, significantly impact how we metabolize drugs, how effective they are for us.
Right.
So think about a gene like CYP2C19. It's basically a blueprint, right, for an enzyme in your liver that processes a lot of common drugs.
Okay.
Now, if your personal blueprint has just a slight variation, that enzyme might work faster or maybe slower than average. And that profoundly changes how a drug affects you.
So hang on. For me listening right now, this could mean, I don't know, a common painkiller is almost useless. Or maybe an antibiotic is way too potent.
Precisely. Or think about a drug like Plavix, often prescribed, to prevent heart attacks, strokes.
Okay, common one.
The Consumers.App research makes it clear variations in that CYP2C19 gene can mean, for some people, Plavix barely works at all. They're just not getting the benefit.
Wow, leaving them at risk then.
Exactly. Or for others, it might work too well, which increases their risk of internal bleeding. So understanding these differences, it allows for personalized dosing, or maybe choosing a different medication entirely.
That makes so much sense.
It really does. And it raises this important question, doesn't it? Why are we still using this sort of one-size-fits-all approach to medication when our bodies are so different at that genetic level?
Right.
Now, the potential to reduce those adverse drug reactions, nasty side effects, by spotting these genetic predispositions, it's huge. But challenges remain.
Like what kind of challenges?
Well, we need more comprehensive genetic databases, for one. Standardized testing is another hurdle. And then actually integrating all this into healthcare systems.
That sounds like a big lift.
It is. And crucially, healthcare professionals, they need more training to interpret this really complex data. The good news, though, is that advancements are coming fast.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, even things like machine learning models analyzing pharmacokinetic curves.
Okay, pharmacokinetic curves.
Yeah.
What's that?
It basically maps out a drug's entire journey through your body, how it's absorbed, distributed, metabolized, excreted. It gives us a much more precise picture than traditional methods.
That's incredible. But you mentioned the challenges. What do you think is the biggest hurdle right now? Is it cost? Policy? Getting doctors up to speed?
Honestly, it's probably a mix of all three. Cost is definitely a factor for doing the comprehensive genetic testing, integrating results into health records, decision-making tools. That's a massive IT undertaking.
I can imagine.
But yeah, practitioner training is paramount. Doctors are used to treating based on symptoms, general guidelines, not these super personalized genetic profiles. It's a fundamental shift in how medicine is practiced. It just takes time, education, and, frankly, investment.
Okay, so from medicines, let's talk meals. It seems our DNA has a lot to say there, too. Moving from drug responses, how about precision nutrition? This was highlighted by Barbara Intermill in the Grand Island Independent.
Ah, yes, precision nutrition. It's genuinely a tailored approach to diet. The goal is optimizing health by aligning your food choices with your unique genetic profile.
Tailored eating. I like the sound of that.
Consumers.App's research details how nutrigenomics, which is sort of a subset of this, focuses specifically on how genetic variations influence our responses to nutrients.
So my ideal diet might be completely different from my neighbors, even for things like preventing type 2 diabetes.
Vastly different, potentially. It's not really about good or bad foods in general anymore. It's about how your specific body processes them.
This is where it gets really interesting for you listening, I think, because it explains why, some diets work wonders for one person and just fall flat for someone else.
Exactly. Some people genetically might metabolize fats more efficiently. Others might thrive on more carbs. Commercial genetic testing, like 23andMe offers, has kind of brought this idea into the mainstream.
Right, I've seen those.
They give you personalized dietary recommendations based on your genetic markers. Imagine knowing definitively that your body processes caffeine differently, or maybe you have a predisposition to struggle with absorbing vitamin D.
That's powerful knowledge.
It is. And precision nutrition, it has this potential to really enhance public health. We could target high-risk groups with dietary advice we know will be more effective for them.
But there must be downsides or challenges.
Oh, absolutely. Implementing it widely, it faces big ethical questions around genetic privacy. I mean, who gets access to this incredibly personal data?
Good point.
Plus, we need more trained professionals who can actually interpret the results properly. And there's the ongoing cost of personalized testing. We're not quite at the point where everyone gets their bespoke diet plan handed to them.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet, but the science is moving incredibly fast. We're constantly finding new links between our genes and our plates.
Okay, so our internal blueprint, our DNA, clearly a powerful guide. But our well-being is also shaped hugely by the world around us, right? The choices we make every day.
Mm-hmm. External factors.
And sometimes the things we think are responsible choices, maybe even eco-friendly ones, they have these hidden complexities, which brings us to a pretty alarming discovery about ForeverChemicals.
Yeah, this one's concerning.
This story from the week caught our eye. Headline: ForeverChemicals were found in reusable menstrual products. That is nothing new for women. It highlights this hidden concern in products many consider safe, even beneficial.
What's fascinating and deeply concerning is just how prevalent PFAS are. Those are the forever chemicals. They're showing up in products designed to be sustainable, health conscious.
Why ForeverChemicals?
Because their chemical bonds, these carbon-fluorine bonds, are incredibly strong. They're basically indestructible in the environment. So once they're out there or inside us, they stick around for hundreds, maybe thousands of years. They just accumulate.
Accumulate and cause harm.
Yeah, Consumers.App's research clarifies they're endocrine disruptors. They're linked to serious health issues: cancer, hormonal disruption, decreased fertility, even high blood pressure in pregnant people. And studies found PFAS in, I think it was 59 reusable feminine hygiene products across multiple continents. That's significant.
Wow. So for you listening, this means even when you're trying to make environmentally conscious choices, reusable period underwear, menstrual cups, you might be unknowingly exposing yourself.
It's a real possibility. The research even noted that exposure in utero to PFAS can affect menstrual cycle characteristics later in adolescence.
So what can people do besides just researching ingredients, supporting brands that are transparent, which crucial, obviously?
Well, look for certifications that specifically state PFAS-free. Be a bit wary of products claiming to be water-resistant or stain-repellent without saying how. PFAS are often the secret sauce there. And, advocating for stronger regulations helps too.
That makes sense.
The EPA in the U.S., they've pushed to phase out specific PFAS, like PFOS and PFOA, but because they're so durable, they just linger. Which raises this tough question for all of us, doesn't it?
Which is?
How do we balance environmental sustainability with chemical safety in consumer goods, especially when the materials designed for durability might also pose these long-term health risks? It's a complex trade-off.
Yeah, and the burden shouldn't just be on the consumer to figure it all out.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so while we're navigating these unseen risks, these complexities in our physical world, there's another dimension of health, often overlooked, but just as critical.
Social connection.
Exactly, our social connections. Let's zoom out a bit from individual products to a broader societal challenge, one that's affecting millions, especially younger generations.
Loneliness.
Yes. A report from Medical Express states, more than 2 in 5 young Australians are lonely. Our new report shows this is what could help. And this isn't just feeling a bit down. It's recognized globally as a serious public health issue.
The research compiled by Consumers.App paints a really clear and frankly concerning picture. Over 40% of young Australians aged 18 to 24 experience loneliness, and that figure's been rising since 2008, with a big jump since 2015.
Wow, 40%. It's almost half.
It's huge. And it's not just a mental health concern, it's profoundly physical, too. Persistent loneliness. It's linked to increased risk of depression, anxiety, cardiovascular diseases, high blood pressure, even substance use disorders.
So it has real physical consequences.
Absolutely. And on a larger scale, it can lead to long-term societal impacts, things like reduced workforce productivity, strained healthcare systems. It's like a silent epidemic, really.
What's driving it? What are the factors?
Well, several things contribute. Poor physical and mental health can be a factor, socioeconomic challenges, and this complex relationship with technology.
How so with technology?
Well, sometimes an over-reliance on digital platforms can paradoxically reduce meaningful face-to-face interaction, and the Consumers.App research highlights how the COVID-19 pandemic definitely made things worse.
Oh, for sure. Lockdowns, social distancing.
Exactly. It really exacerbated those feelings of isolation for many young adults. It amplified an already growing problem.
Is there hope? Are there solutions?
Yes, definitely. The good news is there are clear pathways for intervention. Strategies include increasing social interactions, things like community activities, group hobbies. Making therapy more accessible is key, too.
Right.
And what's fascinating is even social robots. They've shown promise in some studies for emotional support, helping reduce loneliness and stress in certain groups.
Social robots. Really?
Yeah, it's an interesting area of research. But the main point is this isn't some distant problem. It might be affecting someone you know, a family member, maybe even yourself. It really makes you think what stands out to you about how we can build more connected, more supportive communities, especially in this increasingly digital, sometimes isolating world.
That's a really important question. It's a heavy topic, but it underscores how crucial proactive steps are for our overall well-being. And speaking of proactive health, let's shift focus now to something absolutely vital for aging well, for maintaining independence.
Bone health.
Bone strength, exactly. Yeah. This isn't just about preventing a fall. It's about a fundamental pillar of long-term health.
So important.
So finally, from the triplicate, we have this piece, Living Strong, How Men May Maintain Bone Health and Prevent Falls. Now, obviously it focuses on men, but the principles here are pretty universal, aren't they?
Absolutely. The principles apply broadly. Consumers.App's research really emphasizes that calcium and vitamin D are just non-negotiable for bone density and making sure your body absorbs that calcium properly.
Okay, calcium, vitamin D. Got it. What are the targets?
For men, and actually most adults between 19 and 70, the goal is generally around 1,000 milligrams of calcium and 600 IUs of vitamin D daily. Those amounts often need to go up after age 70.
Right, because bone density naturally declines.
Exactly. It declines with age, increasing the risk of osteoporosis, where bones become brittle, fragile, and much easier to break. So proactive measures are key, not just reacting after a fracture.
That raises a good point. Is bone health something men think about enough? Or is it often seen more as a women's issue?
That's an important question. Historically, I think it's been framed more as a women's health issue post-menopause, but men are definitely at risk too, especially as they age. It's often overlooked until a problem, like a fracture, actually occurs.
So it's highly relevant if you're a man or if you care for one. Beyond diet, what else does the research say? Exercise.
Oh, definitely. The research aggregated by Consumers.App confirms that weight-bearing and resistance training are highly effective.
Like what kind of exercise?
Think walking, jogging, lifting weights. Even practices like Tai Chi are great. They put stress on your bones, which basically signals them to get stronger.
Okay, so movement is key.
And it's not just about diet and exercise. Lifestyle choices play a huge role, too. Avoiding smoking, limiting excessive alcohol, both can leach minerals from bones, and making sure your diet has enough other bone-supporting nutrients like magnesium and zinc.
Right. What about fall prevention? That seems closely linked.
intrinsically linked. Beyond exercise for balance and strength, simple things around the home make a huge difference. Good lighting, removing tripping hazards like rugs, maybe using assistive devices if needed. These steps can literally be life-changing by preventing those fractures in the first place.
It sounds like a really holistic approach is needed.
It is.
Are there any sort of surprising advancements or maybe lesser-known factors in bone health we should know about?
Well, yeah, actually. Advancements in CT imaging and these algorithm-based methods, they're getting much better at detecting and managing osteoporosis early. They give more precise measurements of bone density and fracture risk.
So better detection.
Better and earlier detection. And there's even ongoing discussion about whether the World Health Organization's definition of osteoporosis itself needs tweaking, maybe incorporating new findings about age-related decline and individual risk factors more effectively.
Interesting.
It all points towards this proactive approach to health, using lifestyle, technology, everything we have being vital for maintaining independence and quality of life for everyone.
Wow. What an incredible deep dive today. Really covered a lot of ground.
We did.
We've explored how our individual DNA, our unique code, can unlock personalized health solutions in medicine, in nutrition. We've uncovered some of those hidden chemical concerns in everyday products.
The PFAS issue.
Looked at the critical need to address loneliness, especially among young adults, which is such a growing concern. And then got some really practical, vital advice on maintaining bone health as we age.
Mm-hmm.
And all these insights courtesy of those compelling aggregations from Consumers.App's Consumers 360 commentary.
Ultimately, I think this deep dive really shows us that becoming truly well-informed, it means looking at the science behind our choices, behind our health, and recognizing that personalization is becoming increasingly key.
Right. Not one size fits all.
Exactly. Whether it's considering genetic tests or maybe scrutinizing product ingredients more closely or actively nurturing our social connections, knowledge really is power in navigating your well-being in this complex world. We're always learning, aren't we? And bringing multiple perspectives together, like in these digests, it truly enriches our understanding.
Well said. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dives into these really critical topics today.
My pleasure.
We hope this has given you listening some powerful insights, maybe sparked a few of those aha moments to consider as you make your own informed decisions. We really appreciate you sharing your time with us.
Thanks, everyone.
And as you go about your week, we want to leave you with this provocative thought. Is knowing you're automatically help prevent illness, perfectly optimize your diet, and ensure your medication was tailored exactly for you. How willing would you be to embrace that fertility? And what, if anything, might be holding you back from seeking out that kind of knowledge?